All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into June 27th, 2019, and I honestly hope you are as excited as I am. We're getting straight to it. I have 0 keys for the day for you to look at because enough has been said about what's going on in the market. And yes, Bitcoin is in the title. We're going to talk about Bitcoin because it's related to the macro. We might even stream here later tonight, either this channel or the live streaming channel. And again, we're live 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. But I'm talking about this because I'll say it right now. Bitcoin is going up, and Bitcoin going up is signaling a huge problem overseas, or at least something with currency. And again, we've been talking dollar rates, oil. This is very important. So what I'm even expecting, Bitcoin is going to keep rocketing up. But when Bitcoin does drop, and it's going to drop hard, and I love Bitcoin, and I'm holding it. I'm rich again now, so praise God. But when Bitcoin has the pullback, that is what I believe is going to be the pullback with the market, because during pullbacks, everything comes down, and that's kind of what I'm expecting here now. However, I did make the assessment today on stream, kind of with what oil's doing and some of the other weird stuff. It has thrown a curveball at us, and we, even with the down Friday, down Monday, as much bearishness there is, it is so bearish, it's getting to the point it's bullish. I know that sounds very counterintuitive, but again, all the volatility, the lack of volume, it's setting up for awesome moves. So the point here we need to be talking about, this is why I want to just show you plays. We're going to go over the portfolio. I have some options. We got to go frog hunting. The key here is to be finding everything to set up on both sides. I am weighted towards the put side, but I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about, and we need to start identifying even good calls and good exposure, even taking advantage of the ETFs. A lot of the stuff we've been talking about on these watch lists have been coming true as far as those plays go. So we cannot do this without the most important thing, my friends. Post your watch list below. You guys have been awesome on the stream. If you're watching this video, you've been on the stream. Honestly, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm really excited. That's why, I'm not playing any more games, like the video, this or that. We got to get the plays out there. I want to source the information. I guess I got to set a better example for you, so apologies. But I'm really excited. A lot of you guys got me excited, these phone calls. So I'm going to stop ranting. Post your watch list. Make sure you drop the like on the video. Very, very important. And let's begin. So again, we'll get to these plays. I'm going to show you straight away the portfolio because there's something I want you to know, and it's both the philosophy of how we're playing, or even not even philosophy, the strategy and what you want to be doing, and it is going to be scaling. And now we are going to come back to the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin people, trust me, you're going to want to hear this. But here's the deal. You guys remember this account? This was at $39,000 about 2 weeks ago. Now it's at $29,000. What does that mean? I lost about 10 grand in 2 weeks. The problem was I did that because I broke my rule on Amazon. We've made some of it back. And then this was a very, very big swing. This was pretty much a $6,000-$7,000 swing, but we did give up profits. But this is what I want to show you guys. This is the point I'm trying to make, why you have seen me make plays. I'm getting exposure here. Notice I have a play on Baba, put. Yang, that's shorting China, call. Bib, put. FedEx, we played that put yesterday. And again, look at what happened. I only lost 30%, but honestly, you could even see McDonald's put. Those are just right there, but this is the point I want to show you guys. Look at the cost basis, the trade price. This is how much I've spent for these trades. This is what I'm trying to say to set up here now when we're getting these cuckenings. And again, if you have noticed on the chat, if you noticed on the watch list, I think you guys have gotten a lot wiser and you've been paying attention, because a lot less people are complaining about a cuck. A lot less people are getting caught up. It's like you guys are learning how option pricing is working. So this is how I'm getting my hand in the cookie jar. You could go all the way down here. Most of these are very small plays, and we've been talking about it. Anytime I went, I didn't get spreads, and I went real naked on some of these plays, and those cost the biggest ones. When you buy premium, and you do take those big risks at higher contract prices, I did it with the intention of closing a leg on the spread, but I never completed it, and I was being lackadaisical, and it costs a lot of money. So you could see where the majority of the plays are getting organized and where they're at, but the whole point is, a lot of these losses came from back then, the last 2 weeks, but the whole point is we're going to play this back in the swing, and this is why I'm showing you guys. You guys have seen this account. I've never been ashamed to show you it, and I've only always won on it, so you guys are now actually seeing real losses, not unrealized losses. So I do want to, even though there is a big unrealized there, I want to turn this around. I want to show you guys what we're going to do with this. But again, the key here is going to be timing. And now what I want to do, you see I have puts. I want to start getting calls as well, but I am weighing myself towards the downside. But this is where, if you guys haven't watched the videos, go look up the butterflies, go look up the spreads. But essentially, it's very, very simple. You could go about playing plays with options. Like Bob is a good example. Well, that's a butterfly. I think McDonald's is a better one. I spent $80 total. You could go to August. You could buy the 175 put and then sell a put below it. I'm capping my gain to only $500 per contract. However, I'm financing this trade, and that's what keeps me in the game. It's giving me a lot more time, but my initial outlay is a lot lower, and that is the key strategy you want to do, especially in this environment, and that's what I'm saying. So look at that, but now let's talk about Bitcoin and why am I bringing this up? This isn't to say, oh, it's going up so high to the moon, hodl, yeah, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And if you do feel that way, I encourage you to, you get control of your emotions, okay? I could have said a bunch of other things there, but do your thing, man. But at the end of the day, this is the point, and this is why I said I don't need keys for the day today. I don't need it. Say less, Josh. We've said a lot. We know what's happening now. Even a lot of even CNBC's picking up on what we said yesterday. And now even Mnuchin announced today that there looks like there might be a trade deal. Watch what the bonds do, because a trade deal could be bad because that takes rate cuts off the table. That could be bad for the market. But that's what I'm saying, is that Bitcoin running up is preceding something. You guys have to understand this is not a retail move on Bitcoin. They'll go look at the Google Trends. This is the Google Trends. This isn't retail fueled. People aren't searching Bitcoin like they were. It's not as if everybody and their mom is trying to get it, how to buy Bitcoin. It's not really trending as it is. Shout out Hawaii, man. Y'all into that, huh? So this is the point. It's the same stuff we've brought over and over again. When you go look at what global currencies are doing, and again, this is why I've been making, for the last month or two, I've been going crazy on it. When global currencies are moving like this, that's not supposed to happen. Even the dollar, and I brought this up today, people are tripping, wow, Bitcoin's up 50, whatever percentage. The fact that you got global currencies, the dollar in a month has dropped 2 or 3%. You got what you have going on with rates, China, Japan, every single thing, even with the bonds. Bitcoin is a global currency. It's telling you something, even with what we do with China, with my companies, people have a use value. Even overseas, there's many, many use values for Bitcoin. It's not always speculative, and it's not this buying. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Just like bonds moving, it's not a coincidence too. Gold is at 1410, one of the highest level in like 5 years. Look, same thing happened in 2018. Gold ran up into the Bitcoin, the bubble, whatever, even the stock market. And this is why I'm saying the markets can go up. This is what happens usually preceding a move. Again, when Bitcoin fell after running up so much, you saw one of the bigger drops in the market. You saw issues with China and all of that. And guess what? We've had an epic run up. Bitcoin's now going up, so it's going to have an interaction. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Something is happening globally. The fact that, it's great, Bitcoin's up. I'm very happy I'm making money on it. You guys know I'm a long-term holder, but at the end of the day, I'm getting more excited for what this is signaling. This is giving more confirmation. I would love, if I could ask Jay Powell a question, I would ask him about this, because this is what I'm trying to say in the weirdest way possible. This is right up the alley of everything Jay Powell has been saying. I know it might sound weird, but again, let me ask you guys this. If Bitcoin goes to $20,000 and all these people in the world can buy stuff, is that going to be inflationary or deflationary? It's money. It relates to purchasing. So this is crazy. I'm getting really excited, but honestly, for you guys, it's cool to see how the world interacts. It's cool to see this macro stuff, but it's having an effect here on the markets, and hopefully we could play it. Now, a lot of you might be looking at Bitcoin stocks, Riot. I would probably play the Bitcoin futures, if anything, but understand any of these companies you're trading related to Bitcoin, it's just a title and hype. So there's not any real correlation. So be careful. So that'll be cool. If you guys want to interact, you could also post your watch list. But who's holding Bitcoin? Who bought it recently? Who is still on the sidelines? I think that'll be some cool info to source. Love to hear your guys' opinions. But let's get to the play. So right off the bat, I don't know why Qualcomm's up here. I want to show the one we played right at close. Boeing. And we put this out on the stream alert, so you guys can see that here up on the screen, and that's the first link in the description. And why I'm even giving this shameless self-promotion, because this is what stream alerts are for. Is if you do miss any events like this, if something has happened, we're here. And that's why with what happened with Boeing, you could have gauged the importance. One, we were the first ones to get it real time, so shout out to chat. but also we've played this many times before and we've seen it, and it's starting to make that move. It's to know, okay, when does this stick out? And it did. And right away, I said huge drop, really important, looking for plays now. I didn't even make the play yet. And we said, it was just, and this is how do you know it's important? One, volume, but it's the key we've always said with Boeing is velocity. How many dollars does it give up in a short amount of time? So this was about $6 in 20 minutes, but even when it did start to make the really big drop, it moved $4 in 1 minute. That is velocity that can't be ignored. And then the volume really started to increase. And then if you guys even see after hours, it did clip 368 and came back up. So it's still down. It's going to be good, but there was news on it related to both what the FAA said about they had to make material changes, and then some people are even saying a new software glitch. There is a lot of, and again, that's what's crazy, is that the scope of the news will kind of be reflected in that velocity. So this is going to be a good one, but be careful with Boeing, because this is one of those lessons I wanted to show you. And you guys see here, I bought one of those Boeings. I got the July 19th 320 at 45, and that goes in the stream alert because I did that one live on stream. So again, we're trading live 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. I made this trade live. It's not as if I said I bought this, yada, 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 and then I only give it to the stream alerts. No, if we have the stream alerts to alert you if anything occurs on stream. I called this play out there on stream. I bought it in front of everybody. So that's why it came there. But this is the point I want to make coming into tomorrow and with any of these plays that you guys are going to be looking at. It is the difference in the type of move. So as that velocity picked up, you have to select the right dates. I went July 19th because last time we saw a quick, sharp move off the news. Boeing is a tricky one. I'm even saying this could get pushed till next week with the type of move, but the whole idea is you want to get time on it because that is what's going to protect you on here. And here's how it goes. You go weeklies. If you know there's going to be a big move, if that velocity was going to continue, you go after the short term to spend a little bit amount of money to get in there. But even then, I wouldn't even touch the June 18th unless it's like really pushing it to the wall and there's a frog. But July 5th isn't too bad. I did end up picking up another one of these. We got these 340s also at 27 cents. So, paid a little too much on there. Hashtag Robinhood. But also the July 19th. We got them for 45, and the point, being, at one point they went up to $1. We didn't pay that much. I think we got them around here, and they dropped a little bit. But even with the volatility, they stayed down, and that's because Boeing is pretty resilient, and we've seen that. But watch this, and what I'm trying to say is time. So if we start to see the Boeing situation deteriorate, if you see these moves, the difference of how we're going to watch Boeing is it going to drop fast and a lot, like it's reacting to news, or is it going to be slow and steady and give up down just to eventually just drop? And that's where you have to see, moves like this, you go short term. If you're expecting gap down, short term. If you're expecting a bigger move, you get longer term. You see how you have it on these little ranges, you want to get time on there. So be careful with that. But Boeing's at an interesting spot. That was an interesting one today. So keep your eyes out for that. But next, everything today, it kind of happened towards close. There was a lot of random moves. And what I mean by that was there was biotechs, and Boeing, and I think there was like four other. There was like OC, there was mergers, buyouts, biotechs. So Magellan Health, this is a buyout, I believe, or a merger, and its potential. Watch out for there. There's another one like QER that was even on the stream alerts. That was an oil company, Elliott Management, and then MyGen or Myriad. And somebody talked about this. I think it's crazy. They got a cancer drug. I'd look into it. I'd look into both of these, keep these in mind, because this is what I was saying yesterday, even with Boeing. If we could find stuff dislocating from the market and moving, when the market does make these moves, you get exposure to the market, but then these could provide and prove to be very good. So watch out for those in that same respect. I'm going to want to watch UNH and Molina. Remember, we got Molina at the beginning of the week, and if you guys remember we bought the puts, and then it shot up on us, and then they went down, and now finally those puts went up. We're up about like 55% on them, or 78% here, and it's good. There's going to be a big spread, but I like that. But now if healthcare starts to give up, that's kind of leading the way like transport. So watch them. Watch UNH. It's not going up down as much. You see Anthem and also Cigna's making a move. But again, do you guys understand now? Go back to the watch list. I picked Molina for a reason, and it is just showing to be true. It is definitely leading the way on the way down. So watch that and watch healthcare. And again, even with today, NASDAQ ended up higher. I think the Dow, up until Boeing dropped, the Dow was up. So watch certain companies, but specifically, we talked about it, banks and energy. Again, those are going to be the ones when the market, remember, even today, Micron went up a little bit. Why is tech up so much, and why did it have this? Literally, why did we even gap up here and even come up and then come right down? We had a big event here with Micron closed up 13%. That is a big company. It affected all the chip makers. Even Apple went up with it. Apple still closed up 2%. Despite that, that is what held up tech, because it was that same concept when we saw oil go up 2-3%. There's so many oil and energy companies. There's so many chip makers and people related to it. If one of them goes up a huge amount, it's going to have a big effect. The market is, these stocks are going to go up regardless, and everything will balance out. So hopefully you guys are actually seeing that in effect and learning. So watch for those, though. Make your good plays. Be smart with it. But what else do we got here on the list? We said those drug companies, all that. And now even back to the ones I do want to say, even with chip makers in mind, look at Qualcomm and XLNX. And Qualcomm just kept going. It kept going up today, and this looks a lot more suspicious than I thought. It's doing what we were saying. It went up, and it did even as good as Micron, held up 3%. So something's brewing here. I would keep my eye out for Qualcomm and see when they're doing the contracts. Like we said yesterday, if you remember that watch list, I said they're expensive for a reason, and it's proving they're so. So watch there. You could even relate it to Disney, and Disney was getting ready, and I still like the Disney, but Disney didn't necessarily do that right away, or it was a little bit more hesitant, but we're waiting for that to break out. But that's pretty much out of those two. Watch those. And then lastly, our favorite one, McDonald's. I'm waiting for this now. And this is what I was saying, even related to Bitcoin and everything else and what we're watching for. And again, I don't know if I even explained, you saw the gap up here. This is even what we saw with the chip makers. I'm trying to link this together because I'm also going to be watching the McDonald's, and I'm watching this now in relation to where it's trading at here. But if we do see that sell-off in Bitcoin, which will sell off other markets, and it's not saying Bitcoin is going to cause it, but what I'm saying is stuff like Bitcoin, stuff like now even McDonald's, these are going to be the leaders. So if we start to see this sell-off, that'll be important. And it's funny because, if you've seen us over the last few months, we've played this. Look at McDonald's at 200. It's doing the same thing at 205. These psychological levels of where it's at. And when it dropped below 195, it would maybe come there, and then it would bounce up and it hit this next level. We're waiting to see it break 205 and what it does from there. But if it does start to show weakness, that could start hinting at weakness in the overall market. So that's pretty much it. We are going to have some of the plays, like, again, the Zoom and all that, but I showed you those Boeings. I'm really just looking to play those. I am also going to be focusing on oil stocks, energy, but then the banks too, and even small caps or transports. It's just all focusing on this push-pull cat dog we've been discussing and waiting till this happens. So you guys need to be smart. Make sure you're paper trading. Go slow on this. Remember, keep your money. If you keep your money until the opportunity hits, that's what I'm trying to show you guys here with this account and being smart. Yes, lending tips.
I'm calling for Josh Answer.
Yes, we're recording the watch list. I'm actually going to cut you in on this part.
Why would you do such a thing?
What are you calling for, sir? How can we help you?
Okay, never mind. Just call me later, all right?
Okay. And that's really funny to say because I just told you how much I lost with it. So don't be stupid and lose that money by going after the weeklies and going, again, if you keep the money in here, even the butterflies I did with time, those worked out very, very well. I still need to make videos, but I hit 2 of them. They were like $20 into $400 or $800. But overall, man, be smart. Paper trade. We have a awesome opportunity coming either direction. So do not even forget the upside. Do not get biased. I need you guys on stream, contributing, posting your watch list, doing your thing. Let's go.